Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We're live now. January 11, 2026. Donald Trump has made a decision. We are going to help the Iranian people to be freed from the tyranny of the Ayatollahs. Right now, there are significant movements in the region, both politically and logistically. This seems to indicate that in the coming days or weeks, a catastrophe could occur, a geopolitical earthquake on an international level. And the thing is, the regime of the Ayatollahs ruling over ancient Persia since the 1980s has reached or is about to reach its end. All the details of what's happening tonight live. We identify the targets so that the dictatorship in Iran falls here in Military Strategies. Let's begin. Good evening, family. We're here now. We're live. Another show, another day, another moment in history, another little piece of the story of this 21st century, which also brings us difficult things we've lived through together, like October 7th, but also opportunities for hope for a new world. A world far from tyranny, far from dictatorship, far from all those things they want to force on us against our principles of freedom. Freedom as human beings, freedom of expression, freedom to decide what we want to do with our lives. This goes beyond good and evil. It's something much deeper. Humans are always in conflict with themselves from creation. Later, he discovered that we could fight among ourselves, even to the point of killing each other. That's exactly what's happening now. In a place that has as much history as all of our humanity combined, and that doesn't deserve to keep suffering like it is for even one more day. We're talking about Iran, ancient Persia, the Persia of Darius the Great, the one who faced Alexander the Great in that epic battle, Gaugamela. There, the troops of Alexander the Great destroyed a large part of the Persian army. And then later, that Darius the Great, he was betrayed by his men who, seeing the fall of the army, ended his life. Alexander the Great ended up pursuing his enemy's assassins because he believed that the death of King Darius had not been just. Now we are facing a regime, that of the Ayatollahs, a dynasty, a dictatorship, just another one. Just like in Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and other places worldwide, including China and Africa. There is no difference between them, only the color of their skin, the language they speak, and the faith they practice changes. They all seek the same thing, the enslavement of the people, plunging them into misery so they can live like real kings in exchange for nothing. That's not how the world works. No, that's how Donald Trump sees it. He has made a decision to support the protests in Iran and to do so urgently. He warned the other day, he said to stop killing, but the regime didn't listen to him. They started killing, as if this were a death factory running at full capacity. These military strategy images leave no doubt. Body bags piled up at hospital doors, loaded onto trucks, not knowing where to take them or where to bury them. Thousands of detainees and the torture structure right now operating at full capacity. Family, welcome to Military Strategies. Epic show. A show we're going to do to tell you what targets can be hit and taken down against the Ayatollah's regime. And we're going to focus on the country's capital, in Iran. It's the place where, during the 12 Days War, Israel practically roamed freely from the skies, but also from the ground. Covert operations, the Mossad, intelligence services, high-value targets destroyed, engineers from the program, the one aiming to build a nuclear weapon, members of the Revolutionary Guard. Twice in the same week, they managed to eliminate the entire military leadership, both the original and the replacement. In the end, they decided not to make public who was taking over the position left by the previous one. What for, if they were going to kill him in the next 24 hours? Did they see it was impossible to resist this? Get ready for the map we're preparing. We've been here a while and started later because I didn't have time, but we'll do it live. Well, today's protests leave no room for doubt. This goes on, and no one is leaving here. Look, thank you. The banks aren't working, the stores are closed, there's no food, and there's a lack of electricity in some neighborhoods of Tehran. There are widespread outages throughout the country. There's no water, no basic services, no heating. Why do we need the Ayatollahs? What we need now are your likes and comments in the chat, family. Because what we're going to see here is usually what they do. Hundreds of intelligence agents, topographic reconnaissance, and map experts to identify which are the key points and which places could destabilize the regime of the Ayatollahs. The United States and Israel both have different objectives. Why the armies? Are the Ayatollahs the first ones? A joint attack plan to reduce the regime's ballistic missile manufacturing and capabilities, and at the same time, give all these protesters a chance to bring down the regime without all of them being massacred. Who are the ones massacring them? The regular army, the Revolutionary Guard, and the Ayatollah's fanatics? Those who dream of one day living with the 72 virgins in paradise are looking for a one-way ticket, and that never has a return. Pay attention to this because we're going to go to the map we were working on today. Thank you all. Interesting. Very interesting because I already knew some places. But there are other places that have been added to the story. I want to make this night an interactive show. I want you to chat in the chat. We'll be posting comments, and at the same time, we'll be adding more. Your point of view is always super important. How do you see and think about what's happening right now and what's going on? No. Map without a name, but the name is Meram. We're ready, let's go for it. Here we have it. The map of Tehran. What I've had time for, just a little bit, 4 or 5 places, and now we're going to look for others here live, in military strategies. You'll see that here, ChatGPT doesn't work. No, it doesn't work at all. All right, what do we have here? We have some places that are interesting. Let's keep going with intrigue. Factories, bases, warehouses, arsenals, underground facilities. What could the United States attack, and what does it need to attack them? We're going to see the B-2S fly again. We're going to need the B-52's cruise missiles from a submarine. F-35 planes breaking through, anti-aircraft defenses. What does it take to bring down what in the dictatorship? There are 2 ways that would be the answer, the conventional one we've always had. An air campaign to cause chaos, disorder, disaffection among the regime's loyalists and make each of them fall. But there's another action. Intelligence on the ground. The CIA, Mossad, spies, special operations groups like Delta. They're not only capable of pulling Maduro out of bed and taking him to New York, they're also able to destroy, sabotage, identify, and mark targets to be destroyed. All of that in a military symbiosis could lead to the fall of the regime. That's where it is. Tehran, the capital, is where the greatest effort by the protesters is currently being concentrated. It's gigantic. It's something huge. It's a city surrounded by mountains, and it has a very unique outskirts. We know that those from the regime like to bury themselves underground, to hide like rats. It's hollow inside. There are bunkers underneath shopping malls. Hospitals, residential areas, there's everything. And for every purpose, air bases, missile factories. A real madness. Let's start looking at places. Maybe we should see the very first one, or one of the most important ones. Thank you all. The General Command of the Armed Forces is a complex where the elite of the army lives, detached from the rest of the country. From there they govern and make decisions. This complex you see, thank you all. Here we see the famous vehicles they used to attack people in the streets, kidnap them, and torture them. Well, this place could very well be used by the United States of America to give some corrective action to the regime. Destroy the capacity and mobility of these vehicles, build their morale, and tell those who are protesting on the ground that they are not alone. The General Command of the Armed Forces of Iran, this area we see here, thank you all.
Bien.
Command of General of the Armed Forces of Iran, thank you all.
Donada o no, donde se encontraban, no sé si...
That Israel destroyed 2 jewels of aviation that were still standing. We're talking about this airbase, a dark, sinister place. Officially, it's a museum. But it's not really. Cargo planes from other countries arrive here. And there are ammunition warehouses inside. Out of curiosity, which jewel did I mean? We love Maverick, we love Top Gun, and that over there is an F-14. It's not a Tomcat. It's the first version of the F-14, older than the Tomcat. It can't even fly. Who would have thought? Soviet-made planes next to the Raptor Eagle. More destructive, or one of the most destructive of the Cold War. Incredible. Well, this base, thank you all, could also be attacked, this whole warehouse area. All of this you see here could be one of the targets to shake the regime. At least so they don't attack the civilian population with such violence. Thank you all. We continue. We're heading to a site of interest for Israel. The manufacturing of missiles. Yes, that's something that worries us all and scares a lot of people. Lately, the Iranian regime, knowing all the problems with scientists and that leaving the places where they work means facing Mossad, they decided to build cities for the entire missile program and the entire nuclear program. They live there with their families, have homes, and act as if they're in another country. Well, what you see here, even if it doesn't seem like it, is actually a whole complex. A conglomerate of life to manufacture missiles, to manufacture death. That's what we could call it. Take a look. Here, in some places and at some points, what we can see is the construction. 24 hours of new facilities for the manufacturing of ballistic missiles. The ones that are so frightening, as I said, and so dangerous. In these places, construction, development, design, and testing take place. We can see some here that they've left out in the open. Is that right? Paying very close attention to all the information we're giving. And so important, these places could be attacked. Also, kill two birds with one stone. You can even see here how they were already building underground facilities, everything prepared. These mountains, which are mountains of terror, they all have secrets. More facilities, more locations. Homes of the regime's bigwigs. Hidden far from the reality of the people. Very suspicious places, very dangerous places, dangerous places. This is all within Tehran's military district. Here we can see the entrance with security. Military bases. This could be a big part of their objective, to eliminate all of the regime's capability and to be able to give oxygen to the protesters. Curious, huh? Let's keep going a little more to the right. This is driving Israel crazy. Parchin. One more. This is where a large part of the Iranian nuclear program takes place. Detonator tests have been carried out, tests with radioactivity have been conducted, and Israel attacked it at the time. Now it could be wiped off the face of the earth, it could be destroyed. Parchin, take note of this place. We see comments, we see super chats while we're talking. Your participation today is super interesting, family. We'll also clarify if there are military movements. If they're saying that there aren't any military movements, that nothing is happening. Let's see if that's the case or not. By the way, I want to check something. Okay, that's it. I see there are people getting nervous in the chat. There are a few leftist pro-Iranian folks who are a bit nervous. Relax, it won't hurt. It's just a second. You'll see a flash and then you'll arrive at the Virgin Islands with all of them there waiting for you. So cheer up over here. Understand that much of the industry, it's not to make things for civilians. They're military things. Look, another military base. This one here. Again, part of the complex again. Look at the details. Look. another military base on the outskirts. This whole valley is the valley of the entire nuclear program. All factories feeding the regime of terror. It's something incredible, but it's the reality. All right, now we're going to Koyer, this area here. Don't miss it. One of the factories marked by Israel as one of the most dangerous in missile manufacturing. Fortified, guarded, 24 hours a day and with restricted access. Take a look. First access checkpoint at this place. Here, workers have to leave their cars and be taken to the work area by bus. They can't enter with a private car. It's forbidden. The cars have to stay there. Why? Because they're scared of someone. Who? Israel?
Él.
Missile assembly zones. Thank you all. We can see it here. Look here for more information. In photographic reconnaissance, the amount of detail you can see and the number of things you can figure out. How do they work? How do they move? And look at the magnitude of this place. By the way, it's a place that, according to Israel, also has underground facilities. From this point, there are tunnels that go inside. We can see here, for example, a station that could be a radar station on top of this mountain. It surely has some kind of anti-air defense system, possibly. Look, that seems to be an anti-air system. I would say almost 100%. It's a facility that obviously draws Israel's attention and that they want to see destroyed. So this place would also be added to the list. By the way, they're making it bigger and bigger, as you can see here. It's growing more and more and more. The question everyone is asking: do the United States of America and Israel officially know where the Ayatollah is? That's a very good question. Since the 12-day war, what happened with the military leadership? What has happened with Maduro? The world is asking. Officially, Israel and the United States know. They know where they are at every moment. So yes. That the world
Y lo que ocurre ahora
knows officially. Ayatollah is united. Thank you all.
nuclear de Irán. La guerra de los...
And
El objetivo es otro. Derrocar.
united as such.
El formato de misión cambia totalmente.
Yes, some weapons that have already been used will be used again, but the main objective is the selective elimination of leaders. Where are they? Where are they hiding north of Tehran? This neighborhood we see here, thank you all. On the slopes of the mountain, the Ayatollah and his entourage could be hiding in a bunker hundreds of meters underground.
Oh.
They could be waiting for the arrival of the deltas, waiting for the arrival of those helicopters that took away, among others, Nicolas Maduro. That's right. During the 12-day war, something amazing happened there, family. Something the world didn't know. Which one was the military leadership's bunker? And even for us, it would be difficult if it weren't for the fact that we've already seen everything and we know everything. Take a look at this facility we see here, which we've talked about many times. It's a facility that Israel attacked during the 12-Day War and took out the entire military leadership. To do this, they used bunker-penetrating munitions that destroyed a significant part of the facility, but Iran has managed to recover it. For all the people who have recently joined our community, we're going to show it to you again. Months ago, we were investigating this place. And what did we actually see? For example, we saw cables going into the ground. This is an electricity production plant, and that there were things there that didn't add up and that something wasn't right. Going back a few years, 2012.
12.
We're going to see something completely different. Let's even go to 2004. In 2004, they began to carry out the most ambitious security project of the Ayatollah's regime. Pay attention to this. On the snowy slopes of the city of Tehran, of those mountains, the regime of District 22 was beginning to build its survival project. A university, a playground, even a lake where they could make sure to have water, access to water permanently for many months. District 22 Nur University in Arabic, the University of Light. For that, they started moving earth suspiciously, looking for the place to start digging, and that began in 2008. In 2008, the regime began to build what you are seeing. The Tuna fortress of the Ayatollah's regime. Pay attention to the satellite images we're about to see now and all the details. Look at this white spot halfway up the mountain, because later it will be key to understanding what happened there. 2008.
8.
We see how the tunnels are being built, and then we see an entrance in this place. We see that at the same time, entrances are also being made in other parts of the mountain. That this whole area is being drilled down to the depths.
Hideouts.
24 hours working nonstop, not even the park. Where the citizens of Tehran Walk had been built yet. By the way, not very far from the place. Where Ismail Janila began his journey to the afterlife. This area is the area of the Revolutionary Guard, the same area where they took Janila down. Well, we keep going this way. Look, thank you all. Look at the number of tunnels. The Revolutionary Guard area. We can see how it's been drilled. This area here to make the vent, we can see it there. Soil that has been removed from the inside out. Thank you all. Take a look, okay? The evolution. (2011).
Sí.
2012.
Sí.
Look, some places that used to be open started to get covered up. The entrance to this area was already blocked. Do you see it here? It has been reinforced, also with reinforced concrete. You can see the conduction and channeling systems. Thank you all. This could be the place where the Ayatollah is hiding, as of today. Pacheskyan saved his life, a miracle. It's a monstrous, gigantic thing. The entire mountain was completely built. In 2014, construction was still ongoing. The facility was not yet fully operational. We continue in 2015. And look here. How? Is there another hole in this area, which is another ventilation duct? The problem with being underground is that you need ventilation. If there's no ventilation, it doesn't work. Look here. In this photograph, they placed a stone right where the ventilation duct was, so that it would look natural, so it couldn't be identified from the satellite. Look, but can you see cables in this area? In that area?
Seguimos.
Nonsense. Ruedas verrugas. This takes years to build. It's not a project that comes up in a day. Meanwhile, the neighborhood we saw being built is already finished. The famous lake, this is where they get the water for the bunker. Everything was well thought out and well hidden, a kind of recreational lake, even with a beach. Can you see it there? So as not to attract attention. Incredible, right? Well, they just kept digging and digging around here. Let's look for more recent images. 2019.
19.
It's from 2022 onwards when it's already operational. You see, there's also a channel here for the water that comes down from the mountain. The whole area is prepared and currently looks like this. You see, the Ayatollah might be here, but this isn't the only possible place. It's also said or rumored that the Ayatollah could be in one of the central areas of the city, specifically in this area. Of course, he probably has different residences and they move him from one place to another, although, of course, he's an older man. It's not so easy to move him from one place to another anymore. It could also be that they've taken him out of Tehran, moved him further north near the Caspian Sea, as a sort of direct route to Russia in case the tyranny falls. Could it be this that we're seeing here? It's also an interesting area within the city, another spot, another one. Prisons where there are political prisoners who have been kidnapped again are also another important place. It's said that in one of the prisons located in the downtown area of the city, there's a bunker underneath where the Ayatollah could also be. Of course, he could be anywhere. Although I have the feeling, or it seems to me, that they've realized hiding in bunkers isn't so profitable for them. Nasrallah didn't find it profitable. Maduro didn't find it profitable. None of them found it profitable. So it's likely, or very possible, that they're moving the Ayatollah from one underground location to another. It could be that they're using a bunch of tunnels under the city to hide, but the answer could come at any moment. All of this is amazing. Just look at how many places there are. And when the Ayatollah's regime falls, because it will fall, I think there's no turning back now, and the United States wants to see it fall. When we find out about the secrets hidden in these military bases, we're going to be amazed. Just look around here. The number of vehicles there are. Thanks to that, it's incredible, incredible. The city is militarized. Surrounded on all sides, on all these sides, the poor people who are trying to protest are surrounded and are being massacred. The images we've seen are shocking. I'm telling the truth. I'm not exaggerating. I can't show them on YouTube, but they're very, very harsh images. Really harsh. What can we expect in the coming hours? The United States can send an aircraft carrier, but it might arrive too late. Does the United States need an aircraft carrier? Yes and no. Why? Are we going to see it? The use of an aircraft carrier means the projection of long-distance force by the United States of America. That's what it means to have the ability to strike with massive firepower at long distance. But Israel doesn't have aircraft carriers, and yet Israel managed to diminish Iran's offensive capability. How essential is an aircraft carrier in modern warfare? Considering Iran's capabilities, do we really need to wait for the aircraft carrier? Thank you all. The aircraft carrier still needs logistics. You have to move ships to protect it, destroyers. You have to move a lot of logistics. On the other hand, if we move a powerful air force close to Iran, if we combine it with Israel's and other military forces like the United Kingdom, France, Germany, would that be enough? Probably yes. The aircraft carrier isn't necessary, although in all historical operations in the Persian Gulf, there have always been at least one or two. There has always been one. In the 12-Day War, aircraft carriers were brought in. There was also a very powerful deployment, defense systems, anti-aircraft, destroyers. Thank you all. And what if the option is to decapitate the regime in a one-way trip? To Donald Trump, can you imagine? He doesn't like long wars. The 12-Day War, the United States' military intervention, offensively. It was a good night, thank you all. Venezuela War, midnight. 45 minutes the war was over.
Oh.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't need it.
Duh.
Therefore, the need for an aircraft carrier would be for a long-term or long-duration operation. That's not the case here. The objective is clear: to overthrow the regime, not to destroy the regime's infrastructure, not to destroy refineries, not to destroy nuclear power plants. That's not the objective now. Now the objective is different. Thank you all for what you're seeing here. Look at this image. Thank you, everyone. Those drones from the United States could be the key to attack. Low cost and high lethality. They could use it instead of launching cruise missiles, focusing on launching drones. Where is the Revolutionary Guard using drones to attack selective targets? Or send in the Delta Force and go after the Ayatollah's head? It could be. It could be. Honestly, I don't know. All of this confuses me. All of this confuses me because it seems strange, doesn't it? First, in the month of June 2025, they didn't want to end the regime before, and now they do. Something must have changed. What did Marshall Biggins say? Let's take a look. The Mossad killed Ismail Janil in a guest house deep inside one of the most fortified complexes in Iran. We've seen it. That happened on July 31, 2024, and January 31, 2026. The Delta captured Maduro deep inside one of the most fortified complexes in Venezuela. The Ayatollah should be very careful when threatening the United States or Israel. What do you all think? Do you think they'll go all the way, fight to the end, or what will happen? Let's check your super chat. Thanks, Airstrikes. That's what we're hearing. Thank you for your comments to the community. Long live freedom, long live a free Cuba. Only the truth sets us free. Let's begin. Manuel, Jose, thank you both so much. You're the best. I appreciate your honesty and truthfulness. I'm always going to tell it like it is, whether we like it or not. I'm not here to sugarcoat anyone. There are already shops and places where people get made up, but not here. Alina, thank you very much. Alina de Azua, greetings. Strategies from Legit Acres. Andrea Airstrikes, your recent work has been recognized. Congratulations. Thank you, Andrea, for your daily dedication. Send away, thank you very much, Simit Raji. We stand with the brave and badass Iranian women. Thank you, everyone. Don't be anywhere else. We need you here. Moderating Maricela, thank you so much for your super chat. Kevin, we welcome you as the #1 super fan of Abel's strategies, #1. Manuel, thank you so much. Willow Kira, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for all the information you give us. You should know that Willow Kira has an amazing, incredible information channel that you have to check out, and it's called Music to Relax. Willow Kira has a music channel. You can watch the news, hear strategies, and have Willow Kira playing in the background. Carlos, thank you very much. Welcome. Leka, long live Cuba and free Venezuela. Thanks, Airstrikes. Take care, brother. Blessings. Des, thank you very much. Alvaro, thank you as well. Well, I have a really good video. Really good? It's from the other day that I didn't get to show. And it's a video that's good. I'll look for it and see if I have it here. We also need to discuss cyber warfare. In the 12-day war, these beams of light, the Iranians were left without the ability to see what was happening on their radars. This is the security camera of a radar station of Iran's air defense. Please put attention to what's happening there. Thank you all. What we're seeing, they are the commander of the radar unit and the 2 operators. The telecommunications aren't working because the one on the left is on the phone. No one is answering. The boss is telling him we have to get out of here. This is the outside part. June 13, 2025, 5:10 in the morning. The radar is above, under my camera so you can see it clearly. Thank you all. The radar's up there. First explosion. Look. Look, in the image. Their systems are open because the ventilation isn't working properly. They're working at maximum capacity. Those devices degrade. The radars don't work. Something is happening. At one point they say, I can't see anything. Let's go, let's go. Have they seen a radar echo of something heading towards them? Let's go. Too late. Fade to black. That's right, that's how it works. The technological capabilities of the United States and Israel are vastly superior. Here we see it again with a missile with eyes. Thank you all. Pay close attention to what we're seeing. Another system.
Oh.
Anti-aircraft, another radar. That goes to the bottom of the sea. It's tremendous. It's tremendous. Look closely at the image. They don't notice until it's upon them.
Oh.
Look, look, look. In fact, there's a person outside. Get out of here. It's too late. Oh my God. Look. It's a motorcycle. It's a motorcycle. Yes, yes, it's a motorcycle. A bicycle. It's a motorcycle. A bicycle.
I can't believe it. Well,
Out. That's right. That's how it works. We have to suppress air defenses because that's one of the main problems. Iran is going to respond by firing medium or short-range missiles against United States bases, against Israel. Thank you all. There's only one way to prevent it. Get there first, attack first, and don't give them a chance. Make sure they can't do it, surpass them. Look at everything Israel achieved on its own in just 12 days. What can it do now with the support of the United States of America? It has to be a lot, really, a lot. Everything is still undecided, but I want to show you a video too. I think the video is important. It's being talked about on social media and people are asking if it's true. Are there movements or not? Are there B-2 planes and B-52s? What's happening? What's going on? There are accounts saying that there are no movements indicating that an imminent attack is going to happen. That's what's being said. Other people say there are. I'm just going to show a video so you can see and draw your own conclusions. It's a day and a half of the latest aerial movements of the United States of America in the region in fast motion. So you can see it, let's watch it. Note how many planes depart from and arrive at the Persian Gulf. Tanker planes from the Mediterranean, from Northern Europe, all arriving together in the Mediterranean area. C-17 planes appearing out of nowhere. A drone, a Q-4, over southern Oman. More C-17 planes, tanker planes crossing the United States of America, United Kingdom. We keep seeing the tankers arriving in the area. That Q4 arriving in Djibouti. Look, more tankers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the European one. The C-17 returning to Rota. Another entering Iraq, another taking off.
El dron Q4.
To the right, Yemen arriving in Djibouti. Planes from the United Kingdom too. More tanker planes crossing the pond. And look at the scene. If anyone thinks that nothing is happening, well, I don't know. A P-8 Poseidon now in the Persian Gulf in the Yemen area, Thank you all. The Oman area, another one in the Mediterranean. Look at the whole convoy at the top in the United Kingdom area. 2 other tankers dropping off planes, others going up in the Poland area. Refueling the P-8. Thanks to everyone, it's amazing, huh? Look. They say nothing is happening, that no planes are arriving, that everything is normal. Well, I don't see it that way. I think there's quite a lot of airplane movement, that important things are happening, thank you all. And what's happening right now? What's happening right now? The United States is hurrying to have options to launch an attack on Iran. Options that Donald Trump will have to make the decision on soon, very soon, sooner than we can even imagine. We have to act quickly. If not, it's going to be a problem. Family, I hope you enjoyed this live stream and learned what's happening in Iran. If so, please leave your likes, your comments, subscribe, leave your likes. I'm doing it right now with JR in quotes. Greetings. Military strategies. Thank you all.